Okay, here we go. The first thing I'm going to check is my previous day's DVIR to make sure that anything that was written up has been corrected. I'm going to start at the top of my truck and work down. I have 5 amber lights. They're not cracked, broken, and contain no moisture. I have 2 headlights, right and left, high and low beam. They're not cracked, broken, and contain no moisture. In amber, I have a left turn signal, right turn signal, and 4-ways that are not cracked, broken, and contain no moisture. I have a license plate. It's properly mounted and secured, not cracked or broken, and is up to date. I'm going to look under my truck to see if I see any puddles that could be leaks coming from my antifreeze, engine oil, or transmission fluid. I'm also going to check the levelness of my truck. If it weren't sitting level, that could be caused by a low tire, bad suspension, or an improper load. Now I'm going to start on the right side of my motor. My engine block is not cracked, broken, or leaking. My hoses and clamps are not cut, torn, or leaking, and my clamps are tight. My turbo is properly mounted and secured. It is not cracked, broken, or leaking. My exhaust is properly mounted and secured. It is not cracked, broken, or leaking. I see no carbon or soot trails which would indicate a leak. My water pump is properly mounted and secured. It is not cracked, broken, or leaking, and it is belt driven. My belt is properly mounted and secured. It is not cut, torn, or frayed, and I have no more than 3/4 of an inch of play when pulled upon. My coolant reservoir is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, broken, or leaking, and it is to the full level. My window washer reservoir is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, broken, or leaking, and it too is to the full level. Gonna go to the other. Pretty simple right there, right? This side's not so simple. Same thing. My engine block, properly mounted and secured, not cracked, broken, or leaking. All my wires and hoses are properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, broken, or I see no bare wires or any hoses leaking. My air compressor is properly mounted and secured, not cracked, broken, or leaking any air, and it is gear driven. My alternator is properly mounted and secured, not cracked or broken. I have no missing bolts. There are no bare wires, and it is belt driven. The belt is not ripped, torn, or frayed, and I have no more than 3/4 of an inch of play when pulled upon. My engine oil, I'm going to pull it out, wipe it off, put it in, pull it out. It's to the full level. My power steering reservoir is properly mounted and secured. It's not cracked, broken, or leaking, and it too is to the full level. My power steering hoses are properly mounted and secured. They are not cracked, broken, or leaking. My power steering pump, which you cannot see, it's down under here. I just point here. It's properly mounted and secured. It is not cracked, broken, or leaking, and it is gear driven. My steering column is properly mounted and secured. Not cracked or broken. There's no excessive play. My universal joints, top and bottom, are properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked or broken. There is no excessive play and no debris. My power gearbox is properly mounted and secured, not cracked or broken, nor is it leaking. My power steering lines are not cut, torn, or leaking. My pitman arm, drag link, steering knuckle, and tie rod are properly mounted and secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken, and they're secured with 3 castle nuts and cotter pins on this side and 1 on the other side. I'm now going to do my suspension, brakes, tires, and wheels on this side the same way as I would do on the other side. I'm going to start with my frame. It's not cracked or broken. There are no illegal welds. There are no illegally drilled holes. My spring hangers, front and rear, are properly mounted secured. They're not cracked or broken, and there is no excessive wear in the bushings. My springs are properly mounted secured. They're not cracked or broken, and they are in alignment. My U-bolts are properly mounted secured. They're not cracked, broken, or showing any signs of looseness, which would be shown by rust or shiny spot on the top spring. My shock absorber is properly mounted secured, not cracked, broken, or leaking, and there's no excessive wear in the bushings, top or bottom. My air valve is properly mounted secured. It's not cracked, broken, or leaking any air. My air lines are properly mounted secured. They are not cracked, broken, or dry rotted, and they are not leaking any air. My brake chamber is properly mounted secured, not cracked, broken, or leaking any air, and the clamp is tight. My push rod and slack adjuster are properly mounted secured. They're not cracked, bent, or broken. They're at 90 degrees with the brakes off and have no more than 1 inch of play when pulled upon. My brake drums are properly mounted secured. They are not cracked more than 1.5 inches, and there is no dirt, oil, or debris present. My brake lining is properly mounted secured. It is not cracked or broken, and I have no less than 1/4 inch of brake lining. The inside of my rim is not cracked or broken, and there are no illegal welds. The inside of my tire has no abrasion, cuts, or dry rot. The top of my tire is evenly worn, and I have no less than 4/32 in every major groove. The outside of my tire has no abrasion, cuts, or dry rot. My rim is not cracked or broken, and I see no illegal welds. My lug nuts are tight and secure. They're not cracked, broken, or showing any signs of looseness, which would be indicated by a shiny spot or rust trail. My hub oiler is properly mounted secure. It is not cracked, broken, or leaking, and it is to the full level. My valve stem is centered and capped with a metal cap, and I have 100 pounds of pressure in my tire. That's it.
Thank you.